It's finally the time to finish the story regarding Narcisseus Ordo. We helped Seymour and Mamere. We helped Little Oceanid to marry, Little Oceanid Anne. We even helped Caterpillar. There is one more thing to do. One more arrow strike on the clock. Nightbread, Paimon, you're back. You bet we are. Have you found anything new in the meantime? Mr. Caterpillar and I have been doing some research. Oh, and? Oh, wait, right. I give Paimon really deep voices. We've discovered that Seymour doesn't in fact have an annihilation mode.
Following data fragment sorting, this race was found to have been derived from the novel Prisoner 6 Overrun. In that book, the World Organization launched a mass annihilation agent to hunt a chimera down. Wait, that stuff's not important at all.
Apart from using our free time to go out and investigate, we've also read through the books collected here on one more time. We couldn't make heads or tails of them at first, and even now. Well, they decidedly are well written. I don't know whose handwriting it is, or what scribe or copyist was hired, but their penmanship is clear and very beautiful. A master of calligraphy if I ever saw one. Wait,
so you were talking about the handwriting? Paimon's got a bad feeling about his already. Hey, Peter, did you find anything during the time then?
Alright, sorry, I shan't just any further. As you know, we told you all that we found last time without holding anything back. However, I fear that this time there are some clues hidden in details that we must rely on chance to reveal. Indeed. For example, if no further revelations concerning a murder emerge, then the blood on a painting will always remain a red smear. I can't speak.
Then what could this chance be, Caterpillar?
Well, why don't we do a quick recap of everything we've discovered? Let me make some deductions regarding what happened in the past. That might give us the opportunity to fill in some gaps that can help us support or refute our views. That's a good idea. I don't feel like doing a woman voice. Wait.
That's a good idea. Goofy. I've always felt like there's so much about this that's familiar, but I can't recall anything about it. Negative. I can give continuous account of the resources that I have sorted.
Silly dog, didn't you only recover your creator's name after talking to us about the matter?
Negative. I merely matched similar sounds during said interaction. There was no data loss involved. However, I must append that I too find the keyword search makes searching for entire more efficient.
So what do we want to discuss? Well, for a bit of a warm-up, or a teaser if you would, you
may be referring to a heater.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. So let's start off our deduction with something simple. What is this Marianne in the Anapausis exactly? Huh? That Marianne holds the greatest secret of all. I'm sure you can see that too. Let's get ourselves some armchairs. Maybe crack open a few beers. Oh wait, you can't drink yet. Anyway, let us help you sort our findings. I'll start first. The name Marianne itself is certainly familiar to me.
The name of the person I was meant to protect is Marianne, yes, but I have no data regarding the identity of the one who resides within Anapausis. We are missing context. I can only conclude, based on humans' unmodified lifespan, that they are not the same person. That would seem to be the case, huh? It's been a few hundred years after all. Well, as for Paimon, she ate chicken mushroom skewer this morning.
Well, I guess it's my turn. You mentioned before that you encounter oceanid creatures that had a great deal of character, one might say personality even. The precondition for such creatures and their character is the same, that an intelligent ocean has already understood their original forms beforehand. So, were you the one who willed those creatures into being in?
Don't you think that's kinda weird? You know, summoning familiar friend to play house with for you for who knows how long and stuff?
Well, I didn't do that. I actually had to get to know Petit Cho, Al, and the others. Well then, in that case, let's see what we can deduce from the things we already know. Let's begin.
Huh? It's already starting?
Ooh, we're getting one of these! The name Marianne. Anne said that the name sounded familiar. I should ask her about it should something come to mind. To Seymour, she's someone that he must protect. Either way, ordinary humans don't live that long. It's been several hundred years, so they're probably not the same person. No! They are the same person. Because she's an oceanid to begin with. God damn it, why are they being this... Why are they being like that? The fuck? Oceanid creature in Anapausis. Okay. The Marianne Anapausis seems very mysterious. We once suspected that Anne was a character from her dreams. Oceanids are sentient creatures unique to Fontaine, and they can create oceanid creatures through mimicry and transformation. I remember all the strange and wonderful ocean creatures we saw before we met Ariane. And in Bottle Land, Maybe an Ossial can create water creatures, but it's extraordinary to be able to imagine creatures with rich personalities. It's almost certain that there is an oceanid in our palaces controlling everything. Who can she be? Right. Marianne, who has the same name as Seymour's owner, and who seems to know everything. Even if she's not an oceanid, she's probably related to the ocean behind all of this. That was fast. That's enough for now. More than enough for a warm-up. Correct, the oddities in our houses all point to the power of the oceanids. But this is not Miss Anne's doing. All of this together means...
There is another oceanid on Apausis?
That is what I suspect, an oceanid with whom Marianne has a close relation. Or perhaps she could even be the princess herself? Do you mean to say that Marianne may in fact be Princess Lyris? Yes, Lyris, the Red Empress of the Narzissenkreuz Ordo from back then. The Red Empress who loves to take heads.
Take heads?
I seem to have a vague recollection of something like that.
Whoa.
But it's not a story about Lyris, neither is a fairy tale about someone named Marianne. Yes, the taking heads thing is just a metaphor. Lyris is made of pure water, and so has the ability to dissolve and extract people's wills. The Narzissenkreuz Ordo used her to extract the ego and become holy.
Searching for the keyword Lyris has yielded relevant information in my indices.
Jesus fucking Christ, this chair of mine is so squeaky sometimes, and it's not even old. I'm just fat. Talking to the Red Empress has reminded me of a few things about Marianne. Mull it over a while first, then speak to Miss Anne and Seymour. See if the conclusion you reach awakens any new memories. Okay. And? Nightbread, I've remembered the name Marianne. Oh, do tell. It's familiar to me because it's from a children's story, the same one that the Red Empress comes from. The female lead, Little, was mistaken for Marianne, the servant, and Marianne never appeared for the entire story. Maybe Marianne never really existed except as a figment in someone's dream. How do you know?
How do you know about the story, Anne?
And isn't that a good question? How do I know about it? The memory feels more vivid than those I have of the story of the evil dragon Narcissus. Seymour?
Shall I summarize the entries regarding Lyris I possess for you two?
Thank you, please do.
Omitting the standard citation format, where construction output to match format reports to superiors. Lyris is a registered Oceanid. She is not eligible to be stationed in the waters outside Fontaine and has become a special source of information for the nation. She was appointed as the director of the orphanage to symbolize the love and affection of the previous Hydra Orphan. The orphanage affairs are mainly managed by its human vice director. An orphanage director? Then how is she connected to Narcissus Order? As director, Lyris was very affectionate towards the children and quite devoted to them, but her intelligence among Oceanid was below average.
Oh, she was dumb.
She wasn't very good at working out the cause and effect of things, nor could she even count. As a result, she was not qualified to perform covert investigations. Oh, sounds kinda like a big old cat mom who can't count. You know, because cats can't count, so they pick up their kittens one by one and keep going back until they see there aren't any kittens left. Later, the orphanage was destroyed during the calamity, and official records of her stopped there.
Oh. Yeah. But why wouldn't Lyris be turned into a human?
They say she failed to understand the link between the disaster, the orphans fleeing, and her own conduct. So she wanders the ruins, drowning in guilt and expectation. I have another locomotion module. Once, Marianne and I dove down to the ruins of the orphanage, whose coordinates were the same as those of Anapasis.
Oh! Very interesting.
There we found an Oceanid swimming sadly in circles.
Oh.
When she appeared in the records, she was a core member of the Narcissus Ordo and the subject of high priority arrest warrant.
Oh.
Oh, but she doesn't seem like a bad person. Considering that she may be connected to Anne, she must have been tricked.
Ah yes, that's another important piece of information worth noting. The orphanage name was
the Narzissenkreuz Institute. These are all the Mauritius phantom files that Mr. Alain Guillotine recorded for testing light sensitivity while designing me. The output is via my image-to-text-to-speech module. According to the eyewitness testimony regarding who I suspect to be Lyris, there shouldn't be any problem. And you may have heard about this elsewhere, but it's worth mentioning again. Alain and Marianne were orphans in the care of Narzissenkreuz Institute before the Mauritius hunters.
Wait, what? Damn! That's a big lore drop, okay. I didn't expect that. So, Cater.
Paimon feels like you've changed a lot since we met in the Fortress of Meripede, Caterpillar.
Would a 5-year-old child and 15-year-old teenager be the same? Perhaps the tuning here simply reminded me of the past and who I used to be. Time is frozen in the fortress. Being locked up there for a day or 100 years, I'm afraid it made no difference to me. Lenore is what made time flow for me. Watching her grow reminded me that time still passes and life is still being born, shining brilliantly and then being extinguished. And so I changed as well. That said, my past self, the person I was before I met her, would certainly be more helpful to Anne and Seymour in our current situation.
That's true.
Don't be like that, Paimon. Just think about it. Making up stories for Lenore was nothing more than putting such ways of thinking to good use. Regardless, it has nothing to do with the current situation. You look like you still have questions, Brad. Since we have our own suspicions about Anne and Lyris' relationship, we have topics of discussion that can be used to refute or sustain those I don't know how to read that. I don't know how to read that. How the ocean is... They don't.
Few moments later.
Okay, I got myself a drink. I'm sure you have friends more knowledgeable than I am regarding that. Perhaps you can even find scholars of natural philosophy who have dedicated research to this question. Or you could have asked the Oceanids you know personally, but you asked me. Of course, I know what you mean, so this is your speculation, I see.
Paimon doesn't get it.
When we exchanged information earlier, Brett mentioned that Anne is the person in Marianne's dreams. Or perhaps she might be a manifestation made by Marianne, an Oceanid Oceanid.
Oceanid? Why the repetition? Are you just trying to make it sound cuter?
Like pom-pom? Apologies, perhaps my description was ill done. Still, can an Oceanid create an Oceanid creature version of an Oceanid?
Whoa, that's deep. That's like asking if hard candies can be used as the filler for another hard candy. So what would you say to that? The question's really interesting, but Paimon's already hungry for answers.
I suppose so. Still, you may not realize just how deep this rabbit hole goes, so let me explain. You might be confused as to why there is an Oceanid creature with personalities like the Anapauses. If Oceanids can create Oceanid creatures, then can they create Oceanid humans or Oceanid Oceanids? Convention dictates that it's rare for Oceanids to be able to mimic a human, unless the human drowns in their arms, or the Oceanid has spent extensive time with the person and knows everything about them. Wait. But that doesn't make sense. Oh, I guess if they spend a lot of time with them, they learn their feelings and start to mimic them. That's what he means. And that's how that one Oceanid from Spring... Yeah. She fell in love with Finch. That's what it was. That's what it was. And the Oceanid in question must also have tremendous wisdom and compassion. I'm afraid perhaps only one as powerful as Rhodia could. You mean the one in Liyue? Wasn't her name? Wasn't that her name? No, I want wiki. Yeah, that is her name. Rhodia of Lodge. Oh. Okay.
Whoa, so that means Idea must be incredibly strong.
So it's rare to mimic humans, but not impossible. Now creating another Oceanid, that's different. Creating humans using human knowledge can only be achieved by gods, and the same applies to Oceanids creating Oceanids. It usually should be impossible, in this world at least. Unless this human and Oceanid has already placed themselves above their own kind, and attempted such insanity.
You mean they thought they had become a god?
That's right. Pharaohs blindly believe in the leaders, who in turn blindly believe in themselves, giving rise to delirium and delusion. I can do what a god can do. Their deeds are not that great after all. A powerful belief is also powerful will, and magic is a skill that molds reality to your will. Perhaps, it's possible and quite understandable too. If nothing else, the Lyris I know doesn't have this kind of intelligence, nor would she be this crazy. I have some less mainstream ideas about how Oceanids reproduce, but they're not important, and we can discuss them later. Now, let's organize the information that everyone just recalled. This might take quite some time and might be somewhat hard on our throats. I'm ready. So regarding Elaine's younger sister Marianne, the Anapauses Marianne, the Red Emperor's Lyris, and the Anne who's with us. What will our conclusion be? Who will sustain it, and how will we sustain it, and how shall we refute it? Is there anything else you feel like we should add? Fuck, voices.
As I mentioned before, Marianne is not only the princess in Anne's story, but she is also the person I must protect. She is the younger sister of Alain Guillotine, the one who designed me. As for matters concerning...
Oh, as for matters concerning me, I suppose you already know all about them. Nightbread?
Speaking of which, didn't we also hear all sorts of stuff while we were in Elena's? Seymour was also damaged during that time.
How did it go? Did you think of anything? About the damage to Seymour in it.
That's right, Seymour was damaged inside Elena's and Mamera has been taking care of him.
To my shame, yes. Though I do not have such emotions, you can see it as me having lowered my assessment of myself. Oh.
I used to believe I was in S tier in the moist meter scale, but it turns out I was only A. Every day I'm making fools of myself trying to find Marianne and failing. I could think of lowering myself to B tier.
Brother. Oh, fuck. Evidently that was the battle that damaged you, and it was an incredibly fierce one. Why don't we have logs? Why don't we have logs? Why does Honkai have logs and Genshin doesn't? But considering that you were damaged, then your master might have been... Common sense dictates that the fate of Marianne Guillotine, sister of Alain Guillotine, was most likely a grim one. But this world is full of tales of loyal knights who exchanged their lives for a miracle. So you needn't grieve too much, Seymour. Seymour appears to have entered a data fragment sorting mode out of pure shock. Bro's mind fragmented from hearing gruesome death.
My one goal was to protect her,
and you're telling me she faced a gruesome death?
Short circuit.
But your master Marianne was an ordinary human being, wasn't she? And the time that she has passed since then far surpasses the lifespan of a human. How did it go? Did you think of anything?
She was an important figure in the Narzissenkreuz Ordo, and she's also the other Oceanid involved in the tale apart from Miss Anne.
Okay. One of the only two Oceanids, and we also just agreed that we believe there must be an ocean behind Anapausis. But her traits don't match those of Marianne we encountered. Could it be that Lyra's imagination was behind everything, even me? That's unlikely. Seymour mentioned that her intelligence was quite limited. So phantoms of this sort would be quite hard for her. Similar to how an author would struggle to write a character more intelligent than themselves. But it's possible. It's possible, baby. Look at Bakuman. In fairy tales, the kitten may dream of their living little master, but I fear such things don't happen much in real life. So, who is behind all this? And who in the world is that Marianne? How did it go? Did you think of anything? Huh? What about me again?
We once suspect that you might be the person that Marianne dreamed of. So, in your view, Marianne is the ocean behind the curtain, yes?
I don't know. Well then, do you find the name Lyris familiar? She is, after all, the only Oceanid involved in this apart from yourself. If you mean the title The Red Empress, then yes, I do have some impressions of it. How did it go? Did you find anything? To be honest, were you using the process of elimination? You actually already guessed as much long ago. I didn't want to disrespect Endo. You're right, but you do already have a version of the story in your heart. Your own interpretation, yes? If that's the case, then we should go find that Marianne and see for ourselves.
Please permit me to change the topic for a moment.
Ooh, changing topics.
Does this mean that I shall no longer be able to fulfill my order to protect Marianne?
Ooh. Did I fail my life's purpose? Was I given one reason to exist and fail it? Ugh. That's tough, buddy.
We've worked out this much, and that's the only bit you care about? It may be cruel, but...
Paimon, that's the reason of his existence. He was created for that purpose, and you're like, oh, the only thing you care about is the reason for your existence that you now believe have failed at? How can you only think about that when we fought through so much?
It may be cruel, but from the moment we've discovered that the Guillotine siblings were from centuries ago, it was probably inevitable.
Correction, so the conclusion would be that it was my incompetence that exposed Marianne to danger. Brother! Do not blame yourself. You have fought to the point of destruction. You have done your part. There is no need to be so pessimistic either. Though that is an odd thing to say to a machine.
Yeah, it's not like pouring Fanta into a sink and then saying, "Sing, you'll get fat if you keep drinking like this."
Oh, 4ACV07. I can't believe you remember that.
What is it, Mr. Caterpillar? Why use my official designation?
We may not have reached any conclusions, but we now know what to do next. Look, there is a Marianne in Ampasius too, and she also has close links to the Narzissenkreuz Ordo.
My long-term memory module confirms this.
As such, there is no need to resort your logic module to factory settings yet. Let's take a step back. We can still go and find this Marianne.
Thank you for your logical troubleshooting and emotional adaptive maintenance.
Aww.
I think what you said makes sense. It is not yet time to admit defeat and restore myself to my initial settings in order to take on a new mission.
Yeah, that's right, you silly dog. Cat, let's leave things for a while then. Once you're ready, we can continue. Why don't we go find this Marianne? Let's solve that mystery before tackling the Narzissenkreuz Ordo issue. I'd really like to figure that one out too. After all, it might explain where I come from.
My logic model agrees that this is the correct course of action.
So, shall we go then? Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go. Bro, like we can finally go there. I tried to enter there for hours. Hey. I can make one too. And it takes the same pose. It even takes the same pose, that's so cute. Come on, boy. A little bit of healing for everyone. Never caused harm. 3,500 is a respect. Bruh. How fucking much? Hello? Oh. Oh, I thought I had to go upstairs. Oops. I just flew over the bed. We're back again. This time I must... Marianne. That's the spirit, Miss Anne. In truth, I must confess to being somewhat jealous of you. You still hold out hope of recovering your past. I've been searching for centuries, but I haven't found a thing. So please do your best for this old caterpillar's part as well, alright? Figure you passed out and come to accept your present self. Yep, I will. Is Seymour with us? Where's Seymour? Where's my silly dog? Jack? Al?
Whoa, what are these guys doing here? Wait, isn't that Al's group?
Ha ha ha, it is us. And you are Nightbread and Paimon. It's really good to see you. So good that I can't control myself anymore. Please dodge to the best of your ability. Jack, my good friend.
She asked us to send you a message. Now let me take out her handwritten letter with my hands, which are much like yours, yellow and white ones. I don't want to hear your stories. I prefer my version.
Oh,
Shine down.
well, that's unlucky.
Gather. Stay cool.
Die.
Face your guilt.
Huh. The bubble that was here before is gone too.
Well, it was Princess Lyris's magic, and that's just how the story goes. Let me think of a way. Close your eyes, everyone.
A temporary optical sensor shutdown. Understood. This will be reactivated on your command. Wait, why do we have to do that?
The essence of a mime is pretense, the charade that something is still here. And belief is the heart of magic, the faith that there is meaning here. So let's close our eyes. So Anne, begin imagining what it would look like if that bubble was still here. You close your eyes and feel some sort of fluctuation. I prefer the story of Narzissenkreuz adventure team sitting down happily for tea time after the adventure has ended.
Whoa, it really appeared.
The Ordo called this step the process of imagining something in such details. Imaging.
Let's go over and have a look.
Well, let's go.
Okay, let's go.
I can't believe I'm finally getting in this bitch. It's been freaking 3 or 4 months now.
Is the entrance that disappeared at this time? And do you know how to make the can you do your imaging thing on the...
Alright, let me give it a try. You close your eyes and lonesome silence comes over you. But everyone left. They won't come back no matter how long I wait. I can't, it seems.
Wait, why? How are we supposed to see Marianne then?
I suspect that this is because the portal has lost meaning and thus cannot be recreated. From what you told me before, the entrance that was once placed here led to a story that had yet to be written. Now that she has said everything she wanted to, the story no longer has any meaning. Mary is rejecting our answer, and that is why the way in is shut.
Does this mean that we're going to return empty-handed?
It does seem so. I wouldn't say we're completely out of luck. Did you notice something we didn't then, Nightbread? I heard something while Anne was imaging. I did hear something then, so you can hear it too? Would that be Mary Ann's real thoughts? What did you two hear? It might be best not to discuss personal secrets here. The walls might have ears and all. Let's head back before talking about it. Fucking... God damn it! I was this close. So could you tell us what you heard? Perhaps a Hilcher might hear something that humans and oceans will not. Just as how dogs and humans differ in that regard.
Well, I must correct your statement. My auditory components can indeed peak at higher and lower frequencies as compared to humans. However, I am not a dog. However, a dog low frequency here is similar to that of a human.
Is it so? Well, I can always... I was talking about a real dog, not you, 4ACV07. Silly dog. That said, I didn't think you would hear it too, Nightbread. I wonder if we'd heard the same thing. They won't come back, no matter how long I wait. Looks like we heard the same thing. I suspect this is what the inner voice of Marianne. Did she say anything else? I'm not trying to invade anyone's privacy or anything. But why is Cater such a good guy? I just think that we're onto something here, with you mentioning this word's bread. Let me think. After that, I also heard something like, I prefer the story of the Narzissenkreuz adventure team, sitting down happily for tea time after the adventure has ended. And then, I don't want to hear your stories, I prefer my version. Have you noticed something up about this bird?
Please state your case.
Let's think our own thoughts through first. Perhaps we really might be able to come to some conclusion.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, just caterpillar. Thank God.
Okay.
You don't seem to want to link the two of them together. What coincidence, I happen to agree. But I have some other thoughts to share too, though they may have nothing to do with the next step in our reasoning. Are you willing to listen? Earlier we broached the topic of ocean reproduction. It's a huge taboo for ocean. It's to mimic and transform into one of their own kind, just as it is for humans to create humans. But you see, humans can create humans for love. Go, pursue eternity, not through mystery but love. What if, by some chance, the mysterious method of ocean reproduction is accomplished through imagination and mimicry? Perhaps the regret and remorse give birth to a thought, and as they imagine the path that could have been taken, a new ocean is born.
That's very interesting, actually.
We'll never know. After all, it's a secret passed down among oceanists only. In any case, we'll begin once you're ready.
Let's begin. Ah, okay, cool. The talkative Marianne.
The Marianne who wove a fairy tale without an ending. She refused her visit, but she mentioned her memories from the Narzissenkreuz Institute. It sounds like she was waiting for everyone to return to the Institute ruins.
Oh.
The only person who grew up in Narzissenkreuz Institute and has a matching background is Marianne Guillotine. Marianne has Marianne Guillotine's memories. This morning, Paimonane. The one that Seymour was supposed to protect. Something happened in Elena's, resulting in Seymour's damage and her disappearance. Where is she and what is her relation with Marianne? So if then Marianne is Marianne Guillotine, they have the same name and matching memories. Oh fuck. No, my conclusion is that Marianne died in the Oceanid's hands, in Lyris's hands. Interpret. Member of Narzissenkreuz Ordo from several hundred years ago. Her whereabouts afterwards are unknown. She is also the only other Oceanid involved other than Anne. The person who once waited within the desert ruins for everyone's return was Lyris, the former director. Interpret. Marianne has Lyris's memories. Okay. Marianne is Lyris. If so, then Marianne is Lyris. Another piece of evidence we have is that they can both use ocean powers to control anapausis. Jesus Christ. We're going through so many like thought steps, like you're jumping through hoops. This is what my thinking is like. I just think to get to the conclusion without saying a word to anyone. I'm like, got it. So how can she be both people at the same time? This must mean that Lyris and Ocean probably has special powers. God damn it. Her job in the Order was to dissolve the member's ego. What could have happened between her and the missing Marianne Guillotine? For some reason, Lyris dissolved Marianne Guillotine's personality, and afterwards their wills, now mixed, began to dream. They dream of a simple world where the princess is saved and the evil dragon gets killed, while the heroes are always pressing onwards. They dreamed of a world where everything was simple and had an answer as long as Anne was there. Thus Anne and Marianne were born. Oh. Submit. Completely ignoring Paimon. We've put the pieces of the case that were floating all over the algae seas back together. It's just an empty box even after being put together, but we finally figured out what the lost pearl should look like.
What are you trying to say, Caterpillar? Wait, don't give Paimon any hints. She's gonna figure this out on her own. We pieced together a good guess from the clues, but the truth is still unproven.
Of course, my speech analysis module has determined that Miss Paimon is correct. Actually, I meant that we may never know the truth, but I'm afraid we have no choice but to accept this conjecture. So, Nightbread, is this the secret of my birth? I'm afraid I can't accept something like this right away. I understand, Marianne. It's a shocking fact, and it still requires you to accept yourself again. The only reason I talk like this when reading Caterpillar's lines is because motherfucker's smiling all the time. But I don't think it should be that difficult to do so. After all, knowing your past does not require abandoning everything about the present.
I do not understand the specific context of the discussion, but I would like to add that I do not believe I am different from how I was before suffering this damage. Even though you insist on addressing me as the silly dog, my identification number is still a 4ACV07.
Come on, it's not that serious. I promised Nightbread that I would accept this conclusion as long as it's reasonable. Then I have a suggestion. One that will resolve Miss Anne's quandary and put a stop to Narcisseus' plans. Narcisseus. No.
Oh, Paimon remembered now. You mentioned him before, Caterpillar. Just who is he?
Well, simply put, the lizard of Narcisseus Ordo.
Whoa, sounds like he's got an impressive resume. But isn't the Narcisseus Ordo always up to no good? Would it make him the nastiest of the law?
Of course. During my time of my master, creator, and the other we devoted most of our time to hunting the Ordo down. Huh.
As I said before, the goal of the Alina's operation was to capture and eliminate another as well. However, my memory does not contain any intelligence regarding his involvement.
That's a given. Looking back at it now, he was merely using us as a bait, and I wasn't the only one. It was the same for Jacob, Lyris, and many others in the Ordo. I'm afraid that Alina's operation was probably never more than a red herring, with a goal of leading you and Guillotine away to buy him more time to execute his true plan. Remember the doomsday clock I mentioned? Yeah, the fucking thing that's been ticking down with every time we entered here for a story quest.
It's what the Ordo considered the countdown to the apocalypse, right?
To be more precise, the apocalypse as calculated by world formula. This plan itself would survive just fine though. The beast of the stars shall drink the amniotic fluid of the world dry. 100 years more and all surface life shall be wiped away.
Once life on the surface is wiped out, only that which is underwater will remain. Can a planet full of fish eventually rise up to the ocean of stars? The thought of all the terrestrial life going extinct is pretty spooky, but when you say things like that, it does give things a romantic ring. It's the heading of the Publishing House novel from a few years back. My mother brought it back to the village to learn how to paint.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no wonder.
Anyway, for myself and the others gathered here, through the Narzissenkreuz Ordo is the source of all our troubles. Its objective and Narzisseenkreuz's greatest purpose actually completely selfless. He only took the actions he did because he calculated the coming of the apocalypse. He wished to save the world. So, is the world really on the verge of destruction?
I believe this to be a pathological delusion caused by paranoia.
We are the apocalypse. Were the apocalypse real? Would you be able to forgive Narcisseus? No, it's a bit too early to consider such things. You have yet to understand what happened to you, Anne. And as for you, Seymour, your hostility is a result of your program and the duties it imposes. I suppose we must find the holy blade of Narcisseus. Wait. I have that. I'm talking about the real one, of course. As much as it may be quite strange to say that the ceremonial sort of magic society is real. Not only will it help us stop Narzissenkreuz's plan, but its unique powers may be able to undo the merging of wills. We should be able to separate Lyris and Marianne, and then Miss Anne, you can defeat the evil dragon Narcissus, and rescue Princess Lyris. That's the spirit. It might take some time to explain, so let's move out first, and I'll explain when we get there. Wait, didn't we have the sword? Didn't we have the sword? The holy blade. It's the holy blade of. I mean, we have it. We have the sword. Oh. 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 We're going to the tower. We're going to the tower. Atmospheric visibility is acceptable today. Enough that you can see that tower over there, yes? That building was once known as the Ordo, as a tower of... Bro, why are they taking names like this? But we would later call it the Tower of Gaston. It was named for the idea that things that have been separated need to be combined to display their original complete form. But I suppose it might be speaking in reverse. The heart was complete to begin with, and the mistake was to divide it up for separate study.
Paimon didn't get a thing you said.
It's fine, don't worry about it. Plays on words are also a trick that mysterious organizations enjoy pulling. What matters is what we must do next.
Some of the vocabulary used is missing from my semantic index, so I could not properly phrase your meaning. But I understand the last sentence. Please tell me what I should do.
While investigating alone, I found a map of the seal of chemical marriage. You could say that I found 4 seals. You know? And this tower is one of the locations? That's not the place we need to go. That said though, who can be sure? Perhaps our destinies will yet take us there in the future. Either way, we need to use the position of the tower to locate the other 4 places. That's why we've come here first.
So what are those 4 seals? That said, we've discovered from experience that it's usually best practice to just break the seal and give whatever ringleader we find a good walloping.
You know what? As for me, I'd like to restore the Holy Blade of Narcissenkreuz. Cool, a new weapon. It's more for a ceremonial use, but it could be used as a weapon, I guess. Well, I suppose we could also just call it the answer. As I've said before, the Narzissenkreuz Ordo once had a ceremony to remove the ego and will. The Holy Blade was used in that ritual. If Lyris and Marianne wills created Anne, and if the old me was placed in some Hilichurl's body... Ah!
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't we already find the Holy Blade?
What? Really?
Look! A wooden sword.
It's the wooden sword we found during our adventures. Yes, so it is. Yeah, I told you we have the sword.
Hey, what kind of reaction is that?
Perhaps you can think of it like this. That's a wooden sword found in the Narcissenkreuz Institute named the Holy Blade of Narzissenkreuz. That makes it more important than any ordinary wooden sword. Perhaps it might be of use when the time is right, just like the Holy Blade in the story.
Really? You don't need to try to make us feel better.
Got it, let's go. There are 4 seals in total. If my hypothesis is correct, then they should be at these locations respectively.
These 4 locations.
We've been on them during our adventures.
Well, to be precise, we've been to 3 out of the 4 locations.
I see. Did you find anything there? Yeah, we did. I was trying to get in. I was came to conclusion. I need Narcissus sword. It's a fucking Ordo. I see. This proves two things. Firstly, my hypothesis is accurate. I guess.
And the other?
The situation is green. We must hurry to the fourth location. Well... Act 1. God damn. We already broke 3 out of 4. We will see where this takes us next time.